Hello and welcome to the second part of this tutorial in using third medium contact in COMSOL. We'll now change our C-shaped contact problem from the first part to be a hollow box problem where we apply an internal pressure. So the first thing we want to do is to change our problem. We want to make a hollow box just like the one shown here, and then this box is filled with a third medium. I've linked two papers in the description using pneumatic actuation combined with third medium contact, so you can look them up. This is one of them. Okay, let's go into COMSOL. We start by adding another parameter. We want this parameter to be the internal loading. Let's just say 1 for now. Then we want to change the geometry. And we want to change the geometry of the problem such that we get this hollow box. So let's just make one of these boundaries, move it outwards a bit. That's this one. Then we go into our third medium. Now we only want the third medium to be applied to the this central part of the problem and not on this boundary. So now it's only at the center of the problem. And then this new boundary, it's going to be solid. And then we remove our prescribed displacement. We don't need that anymore. And now we want to add a boundary load. And this boundary load will be a pressure. And it's going to be the pressure variable that we have just defined. And now we select the boundaries at which we apply this pressure. And this is only the internal boundaries. Then we go into our stationary analysis. And now we change the loading. We want the loading to ramp up gradually, but now it's in the pressure instead of the displacement. Let's choose some very low step size, and then up to some load here. Let's say -3, and then let's compute this. And what we'd like to see now is that the upper and lower beam, that they are sucked in towards the middle and that they get into contact. Now you see the load was a little bit too small in this case. So let's just increase this to some higher load. Now we compute again. And the contact when the beams come into contact is of course handled by the third medium contact of this internal third medium. We've chosen a very low step size here, but that's just to avoid having to deal with any solver settings, so it takes a while. Okay, now let us go in and select the final deformation. This one here, say plot. Let's also take a look at this being animated. And now you can actually see how the two beams there being sucked together, and then the contact is handled by the third medium. And if we want to blow the box up instead, then we simply go into our boundary load and we just flip the sign, and now it should be blowing up the problem instead of applying suction. So now we'd like to see the beams move away, and now of course there's no third medium contact, so all the components are moving away from each other. Great. Now let's have a look at the animation again. Now we should be able Now you can see how the box is being blown up. If you want to see more extreme examples of this, of a similar problem to this, then you can look up the 2 papers that are linked in the description. And that was it for this tutorial for part 2.